Welcome to Mission Podcast. We're on the road to WrestleMania, so, collectively, we used our common sense for once and we decided, let's do something WrestleMania based. Today, I'm joined by Carpe, Amanat from Combat Talks UK. And is it Combat Talks UK, Amanat? Did I get that right?
Yeah. That's right. That's right.
Lovely. And I'm with Danny as well. And we're here to talk the best and worst WrestleManias of all time. So let's just kick off into it. We're gonna go straight to Carpe here. Let's hear your favorite WrestleMania and why do you think it's the best one?
No, it is. It's kind of a difficult question, right? Because there's a sentimental value of your favorite mania, like growing up, and then there's one like overall that you think, yeah, this is the best mania. So for me, it was between WrestleMania 28
Hmm.
and for like personal value. But overall, I think I'm gonna pick WrestleMania 19. I just think that was an amazing WrestleMania, and I think it's the best one ever. I think it's better than 17. You had so many stars. Some of the stars here, you had Hogan, you had Vince McMahon, you had Brock Lesnar, Kurt Angle, you had Shawn Michaels, Chris Jericho, The Rock, Stone Cold. So many like household names from the Attitude Era into the Ruthless Aggression Era. Just like a bridging period. And yeah, I think WrestleMania 19 from bottom to top, just a great card. And you had Rey Mysterio kicking off the show. I remember back then Rey Mysterio used to come out like dressed as superheroes. Like, I think he was dressed as Daredevil, and it was just the costume is so sick. You gotta go and check it out. But yeah, Rey Mysterio and Matt Hardy opening the show. This is like peak cruiserweight division in WWE. I kind of miss it in today's wrestling, but great match there. And then you had Shawn Michaels versus Chris Jericho. That's one of the best WrestleMania matches of all time. That'll be in a future episode. We'll talk more about that. But yeah, that was a great match, great story. And yeah, two of the best wrestlers of all time, really. They're in my top 10 list. Don't know about you guys, HBK and Y2J. And then you had the final match at WrestleMania between The Rock and Stone Cold, two of the greatest superstars of all time. And me personally, this is my favorite match that they've ever had. I have it over their match at Mania 17. Just you had Hollywood Rock here, just being a proper prick to the crowd and everything. Yeah. I remember he put Stone Cold's jacket on during the match, and like he's just taking the piss, and it's just so funny. It's a really good match, and Stone Cold gives it back as well. And I think the best thing about this match was the near falls, that they both Austin and Rock were hitting each other's finishes on each other. So you had Austin hitting the Rock bottom on the Rock, then you had the Rock stunnering Austin. It was just such a great match, and this was Stone Cold's last ever match in wrestling as well. And he finally did the job, and he put the Rock over. This is the first time I think the Rock went over in their whole history of their matches, which was insane to me, considering they're the top two stars, and this is the first time the Rock's won. But yeah, it was just a touching moment as well. And when The Rock pins Austin, like he goes back in, like gives him a little kiss on the cheek and says, "Oh, thank you, I love you." Like thanking him for putting him over because they had such a great rivalry. And yeah, and the main event, yeah, Kurt Angle versus Brock Lesnar, two of the best technical wrestlers of all time. This is coming back of a monster rookie year that Lesnar had. He wins the 03 Rumble, faces Kurt at Mania. And I think you all know the moment I'm going to talk about, the infamous shooting star press botch. That is a WrestleMania moment. The Brock landed on his flipping neck and he managed to continue the match and win. Absolute freak, man. And I forgot to mention, Hogan and Vince had an amazing street fight as well. But both two old guys. Vince is even a wrestler. They put on such an entertaining match. And just WrestleMania 19 was special, man. You had Limp Bizkit, and the theme for it was Limp Bizkit, Crack Addict. And I think they even introduced Undertaker as well. They sang Rollin', Rollin' with Undertaker coming out with the American flag on his bike. Oh, just top to bottom, great WrestleMania.
You know what it is, Carpe? I think what you've shown to us there, number one, is your passion for wrestling, but number two, your age. You're an unk, man. WrestleMania 19, bruv. So, it's like we're at a care it's like we're at a care center at the moment and we're just listening to a guy who's got like half dementia and half intact with everything. He's like, do you remember WrestleMania 19? I was there.
I wasn't there, man. I was a kid, bro. But I mean, going back and watching, I think
Yeah,
it's
no,
my
no,
favorite.
100%. 100%. I understand. I understand. Just putting your leg, man. Bloody hell. Someone's not happy. Someone's not had their cereal. I love the analysis and Amanat. I think it's going to be hard for you to top that. for your favorite WrestleMania? The way the
Do you know
analysis that
what?
Carpe is given.
Do
So
you know
let's
what
hear
it
it.
is? I feel like this is a very controversial thing. Yeah,
It's
for
your
me,
favorite.
yeah, but it still is controversial. Yeah, I feel like, and I feel like Cobb's not gonna be a bit happy with me on this one. I'm gonna say WrestleMania 40. I'm gonna say, I'm
Oh,
gonna say Wrestle. Hey, hear me out. I think WrestleMania 40 genuinely is the greatest wrestling show of all time. You've got
That's
stars.
crazy.
You wait, hear me out. You've got stars. You've got Cody Rhodes, The Rock, Final Boss. You've got Roman Reigns. You've got Seth. You've got all them. You got them four in the main event of night one, and then talk about the main event of night two. Probably the greatest match. I'm not gonna say actually yet, but we gotta go. WrestleMania. Wait. WrestleMania 40 had possibly the greatest moment in wrestling history.
I don't know.
Wait, hear me out. All the legends of the past coming to help Cody Rhodes get his moment and win and finally finish his story. I don't think anything beats that. And then obviously you gotta go on with the show, yeah. You've also got Sami Zayn getting his moment, beating Gunther, ending that streak. You've got you have Drew finally beating Seth, and then Punk accosting Drew as well. Then Priest cashing in Money in the Bank. You've got so much other great matches on that card. The Logan Paul match was sick too. Yeah, the Logan Paul Randy Orton, Kevin Owens. It was a great match. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, for me, I'd say that's the best Mania.
Um,
Don't get
Danny?
me wrong, it's a
I'm joking.
solid mania. Don't get me wrong, it's a solid mania, but I think it's slightly overrated, man. WrestleMania 40.
I mean, you know, when Amanat said about bringing legends from the past, it was Cena and Undertaker. I feel like it needed one more to really
Bro,
feel something special.
should have been Austin. It should have been Austin. Why wasn't it Austin, man? They should have Triple H, that
But
stupid guy. Should have paid
I
him.
reckon,
Should have paid
I
him the
reckon,
money.
I reckon it's gonna be Austin this year though.
For what? For what though? What's going to happen with
So,
Cena
Austin?
so
going.
basically, so basically, Cena and Rock are gonna be going after Cody, and then Austin's gonna come out. He'll help Cody, but I still feel like Cena will get it done though. I reckon.
I mean, let's leave all that to one side at the moment. I think we should focus on that
Yeah.
WM40. WM40. I think one of my favorite moments from that WrestleMania, which is why I almost had a similar answer to you, which I won't share at the moment. Which I won't share my answer, but that Sami Zayn Gunther match, I feel like I really enjoyed that moment. I enjoyed that match.
yeah.
I think it would have hit so much harder, and it would have felt more special if it was Chad Gable instead
I
of
agree
Sami
with
Zayn.
that.
I
Yeah.
disagree.
Now I get what Harun's saying because they built Chad Gable up. I mean, he already lost to Gunther once on Raw. That was an amazing match, and the way the story was going, it was I thought it was going to be Chad Gable v Gunther, and Chad was going to finally dethrone him. But something happened in the last few months, and they decided to up with Sami Zayn instead, which left Chad off the card, and I feel like derailed his momentum, and I don't think he's really recovered since then. I
Do you
mean,
know what it is with Do you know what it is with Gable? Yeah, I feel like if you're gonna put, I don't know how to say this without sounding a bit harsh. Yeah. He's not a top guy. He just ain't. Sami Zayn's a top guy. Gable's not a top guy, bro.
Yeah, what both have in common is that they haven't won a world championship. I know Sami Zayn is a top guy or whatever, but the way that you build a storyline, Chad Gable was in that gauntlet match throughout the entirety of Raw. I don't know. I feel like if it was Chad Gable over Sami Zayn, I feel like that WM40 would have potentially been my favorite, just because I think that it's not saying that solely ruins it for me. I just feel like with the way that Carpet explained the WM19 build, everything felt perfect for every single match. Every match had like there was no fault in that card from the way Carpe's explained it. You know what we've all watched. You know we can all agree with that. Feel like maybe they just missed a trick there, to be honest. Um, Chad
Oh
Gable
yeah,
fan, I can't really stop. I can't really.
Jimmy and Jay Uso are one of the worst Mania matches of all time.
Okay. Wait.
All
Jimmy
WrestleMania.
and Jay, they need to cut my boy some slack, yeah. Them two got given like 9 minutes, bro.
9 minutes, you can make a good match. You can make an amazing match with 9 minutes.
No, but these lot are used to bloodline timing, bro. Bloodline timing is a good 30 minutes. Do you know what I mean?
If you need 30 minutes to make a good match, you are not a good wrestler. And that street fight as well. That street fight, I can't even remember who it was with.
The street fight was good. The street fight was good.
I don't know. I
The
don't
street
like
fight
it.
was good. You had Bubba Ray coming out, and Bubba Ray was the referee, and then he did the who did he put?
Obviously,
He
he was
put
going to do
someone
that
through a
spot.
table. I remember.
Obviously, he was going to do that spot.
But
Carrying
exactly,
cross.
he was carrying across. He
Yeah.
put carrying across through a table. See, that shit was good fun.
With Mania 40, I feel like it was a two-part show because night one wasn't as good as night two. I feel like night two was amazing. You started the night off with Drew, Seth, and the priest cash in. Then you had the thing, the Logan Paul, Amanat, Sean Kevin, Randy match was decent. The Bailey EO match was
That
amazing,
was a
and the
great
main
match.
event speaks for itself. I think compared to night one, which I mean, Sammy Gunther was on night one as well, but I feel like night two was just so much better than night one. As an overall show, I get why it's Amanat's favorite.
Then you got but you had the final boss, bro. The final boss. Did you? That was like next level, bro. That entrance that he had in the night one with the fire and everything. That shit was just like that was sick. That was just really good, bro.
Yeah.
I give you that. I can't lie. I really, really like the night one main event. That was so good. The Rock done it.
Yeah.
Bro, The Rock done his thing, bro. Everyone's like, he's washed, he's old. Bro, he done a sick job in that match.
Do you remember when Roman speared him and his face reaction after that?
Yeah. Bro, The Rock's the GOAT at that, man. He's the GOAT seller, man.
He did a good job, but like he's
I think with WrestleMania 40, yeah, one disappointing thing, I think the crowd was shit.
for night one. I agree. For night one, I agree because it was like apparently it was really cold. But then night two, apparently, like night two, you could tell they were a bit way better. Like not even a bit, it was way better. Night two.
Was Drew McIntyre and Seth night two?
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
Yeah,
opened
that was
but-
night
oh,
two.
honestly, if
Open.
Drew won with that Claymore, oh my god, that would have been crazy. But yeah, let's close off the WM40 talks. I want to hear what Danny's favorite WrestleMania is and why.
Alright, this one's extremely personal. I mean, I objectively think it's a top 5 Mania, but I'm going with Mania 31. I think this is one of the best Manias of all time. I mean, I've enjoyed lots of Manias over the years, but this one's just extremely personal. I feel like there were lots of unexpected moments, great matches, shocking moments in the match as well. Let's start off with the hashtag of the century. I mean, this is one of wrestling's greatest ever moments. The main event was between Brock and Roman. I mean, I think that's the best match them two have ever had. Personally, I think maybe SummerSlam 22 is up there, but I enjoyed this one more than that one.
I agree with that.
But then the match was building up, and no one really wanted to see Brock retain. No one really wanted to see the belt put on Roman. And Seth had lost to Orton early on the night, which I think was a good match too, with one of the best RKOs of all time. So people thought Seth was done with the night. Did no one expect Seth to run down that ramp, cashes in his contract, and win the belt? One of the best Mania moments of all time. I think it added to the unpredictability of the main event. The timing was perfect. Roman had just, I think, speared Brock, or Brock had F5 Roman, and then Seth just runs down the ramp and wins the belt. No one expected it. Everyone was left in shock. One of the best Mania endings of all times for its own purpose. Then you had Sting's debut at WrestleMania. No one ever thought Sting was gonna wrestle at Mania. I mean, people wanted him to beat Triple H, but Triple H was never gonna let that happen for his own company. The match I think was okay, but then I'd liked the run-ins with DX, NWO. I think they were amazing. We opened the night with the stacked ladder match. People wanted Daniel Bryan to, win some gold at Mania. I feel like him opening up the way he closed 30 was great, winning the Intercontinental Championship. The Rusev entrance I think was amazing when he just comes in that tank, looks like a super villain. Even his match with John Cena, I think that's their best match they've had probably. So yeah, I felt like this Mania overall had like a nostalgia filled match with Sting and Triple H, and then let's not forget about The Rock, where he interrupts Triple H and brings Ronda from the crowd. I think that was an amazing moment for the fans. So yeah, I think this was the complete package. Like it didn't just rely on one match. It had multiple legendary moments spread throughout the night, and it essentially built a star in Seth Rollins. I mean, he was already seen as one of the top guys in WWE, but having him actually win the belt, and I personally think it's one of the best ever moments. I mean, Mania is all about moments and matches, but I feel like they're mainly about moments. Yeah, like the moments are the ones that live on forever. Since this one, I feel like had one of the greatest ever moments. And before the show as well, this wasn't a Mania people were looking forward to. On card, it wasn't great. And the I don't know if you guys remember the angle before the go home show where Brock and Roman were just chugging the belt. People were like, "What's this crap? What are they doing?" And then to go on and deliver one of the best Manias of all time, I think is amazing.
Mm. I agree. I think it was a really good Mania. Um, Obviously you've got some Seth bias in there, you know what I mean? With
It's-
the cash in, yeah. Um, yeah, I would say it was good. I liked the ladder match a lot, to be honest. Daniel Bryan winning, that was elite, and the Sting match was good too. So yeah.
I really like the stage for WrestleMania 31. It was like YouTube sort of
Yeah.
play button thing.
Yeah.
I
Do you remember
hated
Triple H?
take I
Triple H's
hated Taker
entrance
versus
was so
Thingy.
sick.
Yeah, Triple H's
Remember
entrance
that?
was good.
Oh, he's always got good entrance, that greedy guy, bro.
I hated Taker versus Bray Wyatt though. Thought
Oh,
that was dead.
Bray Wyatt, yeah, R.I.P. in that, but he's got a stinky match record. He's been
Howlers, didn't he?
In that.
He's had some he's had some howlers, bro.
shout out Harris, bro. That's his goat.
Nah, but like, yeah, Taker was in a weird stage with his trim as well, fam. His trim was horrible, lad. Like he was trying to
I
grow it
swear,
out, and then
Taker wasn't even a part of the build for it. Like it was literally just Bray
he didn't
Wyatt.
show up. He didn't show up.
Yeah,
Taker showed up later that year with his feud with Brock at
that was
That
good.
SummerSlam.
was I like that.
I
That was
enjoyed
good.
that. That was
I
fun.
enjoyed that
That
feud,
was
yeah.
good. That was better than way better than the thingy feud, the Bray Wyatt one. Like the
Yeah.
matches themselves.
Mania 31 was sick. Seth Rollins thing was amazing. I remember watching it live.
Seth Orton as well was good.
The
The
RKO
RKO
moment.
was the RKO was elite.
Remember when Seth's like swinging the title in the air and
Oh, that
flying
was
into the,
iconic. Oh my god, so iconic. It was brilliant, honestly.
and that was one of the
Everyone,
best title runs ever as well. Seth's 2015 run was sick.
he was unlucky to get injured. I feel like they were building to a Shield triple threat at the next Mania, and him getting injured kind of ruined that. Harun, what's your favorite Mania of all time?
Oh bloody hell, you sprung that on me quickly. This one's really like personal to me because it was the mania that actually got me into wrestling. Um, and it's a really strange way of how I got into wrestling. So it's WrestleMania 25. For me.
25.
Yeah, 25. Um, obviously the 25th anniversary and whatnot. Let me land on this, man. So I read a book on
Shocker,
on
shocker.
sorry.
That's a shocker, Harun. That match, if I recall correctly, that Mania had one good match.
No, no,
That
no.
was a terrible Mania, bro.
It's a no, no.
Let him land.
It's a no, no. It's a favorite mania because it's the one that got me into it. There have been better manias.
Oh,
The question
Okay.
was favorite, not best. If it was best, it would not sit in like my top five. My favorite for the
He just
reason
went.
being it's because it's got into my because I got into wrestling through that. Like when you're a kid and you pick up random
Yeah,
books from the library and anything, and you see a wrestling book, you're like, okay, I shouldn't be looking at this. It's half naked men on a freaking book. I'm like 9 years old, and I see this. I'm like, oh my god, annual. It was an annual in it. I picked
I
the
had
book up.
that as well. I had that as well. The 20
Yeah,
WrestleMania
yeah, I picked that
25
up.
one.
Mm,
I had to skip through the
interesting.
divas and stuff and like read through the matches and all that. And I thought,
What?
and I had to think, and I genuinely, I thought when I was reading this, like, is this real? Like, do these matches only happen once a year? Like, that's what got me into wrestling. Like, I remember, and I watched all the watched all this WrestleMania back, and I actually really enjoyed it personally. Um, the tag match at the beginning, not as great quality. Carlito and Primo versus Miz and Morrison, like that was a lumberjack match. That was pretty decent. Got the crowd going a little bit. But I felt like this was the start of CM Punk going somewhere. He won the Money in the Bank match, if you guys remember, and he cashed in
second
on.
year in a row.
Yeah, but it felt like
Mm.
this one actually meant something more because he cashed in on Jeff Hardy. That
Did
kind
you
of.
did you enjoy the Miss WrestleMania Battle Royale?
That wasn't in the book. That was not in the book. Skipping past that one. But then that handicap elimination match as well. Jericho just flexing his chops, and then he just got a Code Breaker's Ric Flair at the end. That be brother match was actually well written in the book, and then when I watched it, it was fun, but it wasn't that good of an Extreme Rules match. But it was a lot better
Bro,
than Amanat's Uso v Uso match.
do you
Um,
guys remember that? Do you remember that storyline, the Matt and Jeff? Oh, that was dark, bro. They were like Matt Hardy killed his dog and
Yeah.
everything.
It killed his dog, bro.
Yo, but the Hardys went through so much, man. Oh my god, Matt and Lita.
Nah, I'll be honest, Matt. Listen, I like Matt Hardy in it, bro. He's a cook. How is he friends with Edge? Oh, bro, that's some bad shit.
Bro, in wrestling, I can't wrestling. They all sleep with each other, bro. They've all had
No, but
affairs with
it's
each
the
other.
way it
But I
happened.
appreciate. Yeah, I
Naturally,
know.
it's the way it happened, bro.
And the
Also,
fact that Vince made it into a storyline and he made Matt Hardy lose it as well.
this is Vince
That's
we're talking about. Why are you even surprised? This is Vince. But can I just quickly move on away from the Hardy Boys
yeah.
stuff? There were actually 3 good matches in a row that happened, like really, really top 2 matches that happened in a row afterwards. That Mysterio versus JBL, the way that it was done was so good. Just taking JBL by surprise and Mysterio having that moment and JBL saying, I'm quitting, straight after. Then the Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels match. That's an all-time. That's an all-time match. That's an all-timer for all the Manias. The way that was delivered, and in 26 as well. Them two, they're wrestling soulmates. The way that it went about, it was brilliant. I still remember though. I think it was this Mania or the one after. Undertaker did a suicide dive, and the cameraman had to catch him or something like that.
I think it was this Mania.
Yeah. It was
Yeah.
this one. And that was crazy. And then Cena beating Big Show and Edge. That was pretty sick as well. That was a great match. Watching that back, I really wish he did that double AA with Big Show and Edge on him. You know how that would have been crazy. Um, and then that main event was okay-ish. Triple H versus Orton. Wish it
That
was
was
better.
stinky.
I
Awful
wish it was
moment.
better. Just didn't feel great. But
feud,
that's the reason. The
the
reason it's
build
my
up,
favorite is because it got me into wrestling. That's it. It's not the best, but it's my favorite for that reason.
the build up for Randy Orton Triple H was amazing though. But it's just one of them ones. They had to follow Taker and Shawn Michaels as
Never
got
happened.
done there.
It
That's
should have.
happened. I swear that's happened twice now to Triple H. WrestleMania 18, he got outdone by Rock Hogan, and then at 25. It serves him right though.
I'd say honorable mention would be 21. 21 probably is
the top.
21 probably is the second best for me. My second favorite Mania.
Let's save that for the top 5. We're going to do the top 5 Manias in a bit. But do you know a quick interesting fact about Mania 25? You know the Chris Jericho match? Originally, he was meant to face a Hollywood actor, Mickey Rourke. They filmed the whole like segment and everything here. I think Mickey Rourke had to pull out because he had to film a movie, so they switched it.
Yeah, because it was based on the movie in it that he was in.
Yeah, the
Like it was
wrestler.
to promote the movie. Yeah, to promote the movie and that.
Great film by the way. If you haven't seen it.
Tune into Carpe's films. That's the. He's gonna drop a film quote every single time and then say, "Oh, you should watch this film if you haven't watched it."
You know
Friggin'
what?
connoisseur.
I'm
Have you lot?
surprised. I'm surprised no one mentioned 39. I feel like
You know
that's
what
an
it is?
all-time
You know what it
Mania.
is? That would have been my second favorite for in
The
terms
ended
of like
really.
really enjoying.
Bro, forget
that.
that. No one said 17. That's crazy. You might get cooked for that.
You know, I feel like these are more personal to us and not for
Yeah, exactly.
what's alive.
Personally, like the personal. If you want to do a top 5 ranking now, I'm happy to do that. Like let's go with a top 5 ranking. So I think the best way to do it is we just say the manias that we think are the best. We agree, disagree, and then try and get 5 of the best, and then rank them as best we can. Because I know 25 ain't going to be up there. 100%.
I said 21. 21 has to be in there.
I think we all agree 17's top 2.
17 has to be in there, bro. It's a great Mania, bro. You know what? My Way, the theme.
Wow.
How many times?
Oh,
how
my
many
God.
times,
Amazing.
guys? As a combined 4 of us here, how many times do you think we've watched that Rock Austin promo? It never
Bro,
gets old.
Best ever. Best ever.
You think you're special? You do. Great.
It's,
You know,
it's just, you know what it is? Like, as I said, I got into wrestling because of 25, and you watch all these moments back, and it just brings you someplace that you wish you were there. You
Oh.
wish you were at the age you are now to appreciate it when it happened live.
For me, with
That's how
17,
special
yeah.
it was.
For me, with 17, this is gonna be a bit controversial. Yeah. The event is very good. Like, okay, they've got 3 good matches, like elite matches. Yeah, you got the TLC, you got Shane versus Vince, and then obviously you got Rock Austin. Yeah,
Yo, you're not gonna miss out Kurt Angle v Chris Benoit. There's no way you're gonna miss that match out.
Oh, forget that Undertaker Triple H was an amazing match as well.
This guy missed out about 3 matches that were amazing as well on the show.
Kurt Angle Benoit. I feel like it wasn't even. It's not really memorable. It's just names in it. Oh, Kurt Angle Benoit. It must have been a good match. Do you know what I
But
mean?
it was a good match,
No, it
though.
was a good match. Oh, this guy.
It was a good match, but it wasn't. No. It was a good match, but it wasn't like. Like, I'd rather watch Vince versus Shane than watch Kurt Angle Benoit.
I mean, it was a
That's
street
what-
fight, to be fair.
Cook this guy. Cook this guy, bro. Cook this guy. How can you say that? Kurt Angle
No.
and Chris
Wait, one
Benoit?
sec. Okay, so you're telling me the Vince versus Shane street fight wasn't better than Kurt Angle Benoit?
They were both good matches objectively, though. You don't have to compare them. They're both on the same show.
No, but I'm
Just
asking you a
enjoy
question.
it, man.
What
We're
is-
lucky to have
No.
him.
No, but I'm asking a question though. Which one do you think was better?
I prefer
Yeah,
the.
but they're both.
Angle
The
match,
point
though.
is, they're both on the same cards. How can you say it was?
Listen, both
WrestleMania
matches
three
offered
good
different
matches?
things. Both matches offered different things, but they were both amazing in their own way.
I just wouldn't say it's better than like 21.
Bro,
Personally.
Vince v Shane, that storyline was nuts, bro.
Oh my god, that
That's-
was with
storyline
Trish
was
Stratus and
elite.
Linda McMahon, Steph as well, all the family out there. You know, props
Elite.
to Shane, man. He's given some crazy WrestleMania moments to us, honestly.
Vince is a sick fuck. Vince is a sick fuck, fam.
He's the goat though. He is the goat though. Can't deny
Listen,
that.
I feel like Amanat's undermining 17. That was
Yeah.
Are we
amazing
putting that in
I
top
just-
2 then? Are we putting that in top 2 then? I feel like that's
I don't-
unanimous.
Bro, 17, has 2 of the greatest moments ever. You have Edge spearing Jeff Hardy from the ladder. That's like one of the most OMG moments.
And the
of
main
all time.
event.
And then the main event with Austin turning heel. Like,
Listen,
come on, bro, it
yeah.
has to be top 2.
In
No, I
hindsight,
wouldn't put it top 2 in my opinion. I would
listen,
put
in
it.
hindsight, you can talk about the main event, but at that moment, yeah.
I'd put it third.
Okay, what's
But it
the
was
top
a
two?
great match. It was a great match as well.
For me, but you're not no one's gonna agree with me. I'd have 40 and 21.
See, I agree with 40. I think it's a top 5 mania, but I don't think it's the best.
You know what it is? I feel like having 2 nights of Mania though, it gives that undue advantage to like having the best Mania. But sometimes it can act
True.
as its own disadvantage as well because there's so many matches on the card that can kind of bring the entire like Mania down. Like if I look at what was it? The Pandemic Mania, like there weren't too many, not the one where it was all in the performance center, but the one after where there weren't too many people in the crowd.
31.
Yeah, it
41,
was
sorry. I'm not. Which one was it? 37, sorry. 37 or 38.
37.
One of them.
37, yeah, it was 37. 38 was Reigns Lesnar main event, I think.
Yeah. That's the one.
37, like that was that. I only really remember that Mania for the main event, Reigns, Bryan, and Edge. That was a brilliant main event, by the way. But
It really was.
no,
Elite triple threat.
genuinely, and like that's the downside of having a two night Mania, really. It gives that disadvantage towards all the other Manias out there. I think having 40 in your top 5 is completely fine. But I think if you're gonna say which Mania is the best, you got to say either night 1 or night 2. That would be unfair on the other Manias that are in the card because there's only sometimes 8, 9 matches in one night, and they had to fit all that talent in there.
So, can I
So
just say,
no one's mentioned Mania 30. I'm surprised about that,
I don't think Mania 30 deserves to be in there.
I don't think so either. I think it's a
Aside
bit
from
overrated,
Aside from Daniel Bryan, it wasn't very.
aside
we
from
had
the
Taker
opening two
streak.
matches, aside from the opening match and the main event, because that's all anyone cared about.
Yeah.
I mean, Taker's streak being broken is an all-time.
I'm gonna say something, but listen, 28, yeah, WrestleMania
Oh,
28,
yeah.
WrestleMania 28. Honestly, that was the first one I watched live. Yeah, first WrestleMania I watched live. Oh my days, you don't understand, bro. When Cena lost,
Nah, hear voices.
I was gassed. I wanted The Rock to win.
and then you had probably my top 3 favorite matches ever in Taker versus Undertaker. I mean,
Taker versus
latest
Undertaker.
Taker. Hell yeah, so that was like legendary.
You know,
All right.
WrestleMania 28. Yeah, I think that deserves to be in the top 5 because I remember I was in year 7 at the time. It was Easter holidays. I went to my big cousin's house to watch it. They bought it, and it's just a special moment. I don't know about you guys. Once in a lifetime felt like the biggest thing in the world.
It was massive.
It was
It was huge. It was huge, bro. It was
the
like
promo
either
battles were
Team Rock-
insane.
Do you know what else was massive on that card? Do you know what
What?
else was massive on that card? Team Teddy versus Team Johnny. Wow.
Ah,
That build up, yeah. Then you had my boy Zack Ryder getting kicked in the balls. Wow, man.
The Punk Jericho
meant-
match was a good little match as well.
that was a good match.
Yeah, the build for I love the build for that match, you know.
Is 20?
You know what it is
Are we
about
putting
28?
28 in our top 5 list? Because at the moment we've got
I'm putting
17.
it.
I'm happy with
I'm
that.
putting it.
I
I
enjoyed the
feel like,
Mania.
I feel like personally, 28 should be there for all of us because it was our peak childhood watching Rock and Cena go at it. So I feel like it probably is a top 5.
All right, we'll
And
go
bro,
with
You probably
28.
put it five. You probably put
28
it 5
had
in
one
it.
of the best. Had one of the best stage designs as well. The palm trees. That was amazing.
And then you had Florida come out perform for The Rock.
Sick. Florida's the goat, bro. That's the goat
Right,
rapper.
so far we've got 17 and 28. What else we putting there?
I think you can put 31 in there. I'm happy to put
31.
31.
Okay.
You have to put 21 in there too. Then
You have to put 19, bro. You can't.
19.
Not
I agree. 19 is
So
there.
17, 19, 21, 31, and 28. Is that the
So
list
we
we're
leave
going with?
so
40 off
no
here, man.
40, no
What
40
we
is crazy, bro. No 40 is
Yeah,
crazy.
but that's what you lot have just said. And the
No,
thing
no,
is with 40, you can either
I'll
say
I'll
night
put
1 or
40 in
night
there
2.
over 31.
You can either say night 1 or night 2. I
Okay.
think it's unfair. Like, I think it's an unfair advantage.
So
That's
Mania
just the way the
17,
cookie crumbles, fam.
Mania 17, Mania 19, Mania 28, Mania 31. I've got 4. What's the 5th one?
You said
Wait, no. Wait, there's no way 31 is ahead of 40 in my opinion.
I'm putting 31 over 40. I prefer 31. I can't lie.
You just don't like me wrestling though. That's the
You
thing.
lost the vote here. You lost the vote. I mean, Harold, it comes down to
No,
Harold.
wait. It's 40 in. 40 could be number 5, to be fair.
I think 40 is better than 21.
Yeah.
No,
Well, you know what 21
I put it ahead of 21.
The impact. It's the impact of 21, though. You had the new stars, Batista and Cena.
Yeah.
You had Batista, Cena, you had Kurt versus Shawn, you had Eddie versus Ray, you had Edge winning Money in the Bank. Wait,
You had
what was he winning
Hogan.
Money in the Bank
Remember
that
Hogan? Hogan took out Muhammad
Yeah.
Hassan. What a movement.
You know what? I'm going with the Amanat here. I think I'm having 40 over 31. I've just had a refresh of the match card of 31, and you know the Seth Rollins moment was great. The RKO was brilliant. Everything kind of like was good, but 40 just trumps 31. And but to be honest, I think 39 is better than 40. But you know, that's
40
my
has that
opinion.
advantage because it was 2 nights.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But I think 39 was better anyway than 40.
See, I prefer the Roman Cody match from 39, but I feel like the moment in 40 was better.
Yeah, no, of course.
To be
I
honest,
felt like the matches on 39 were a lot better built up. WrestleMania 40, I know it's a bit controversial, but I feel like it was almost carried by The Rock, whereas in
Of course.
39, everything else it felt a bit more balanced. I mean, aside from the Austin Theory John Cena match, I thought every match had amazing quality in that 39.
so
My goal was washed in that match.
Our goat,
got-
bro.
I've got Mania 17, Mania 19, Mania 28, Mania 40, and what's the other one we said?
21.
21. Are we putting 21 in there?
I mean,
I think
I'm-
21 should be in there,
I'll
but
put
it's
21 there, but 21 was amazing as well.
All right, what are we having at number 1 then? Because
Is 21? Do you think 21's better than 31?
That's what I was saying. I think 31's better than 21.
I would say 21 is better. If you look at the match cards, yeah, and you just,
Which Mania had the best moments?
for me, one of the greatest moments ever was John Cena being JBL, going in the crowd with the title.
This is biased. Look, you don't think I was talking about bias with Seth. Look what this guy's doing to John Cena right now.
John Cena winning the title from JBL.
Listen,
Then you
that,
had
You know what?
the Undertaker beating Randy.
I think put Mania 31 in. Tell you why. Nobody expected Mania 31 to be any.
exactly. That's all.
versus HBK. Wow.
Because Mania 21 had so much hype with the whole Hollywood thing. Do you remember the promos they were doing that? They had the wrestlers doing the famous Hollywood thing. That was amazing. You know what? I'll give you. I can't lie. Just for that, I'll give you 21. The whole Hollywood thing was pretty sick.
But Kurt Angle Shawn Michaels match is one of my favorite matches ever.
Go on, what are we ranking it as then? Because I want to move on to the other side of the spectrum. So, what are we in agreement on in first place? Because I've got 17.
I'll put 17.
I'll put 17. I can. I don't know.
know
I think
what?
19.
I've got my way a lot this list, to be honest, yeah. So I'll give you 17. I'll give you 17 at the start. Do you know what I mean? For first.
I'm
This
putting
isn't
19.
this isn't politics, man. Just choose what your favorite is.
But my favorite is 40, innit?
No,
That's not there's no chance that's the best
sorry,
Mania ever.
no,
It's not the best Mania. That's what I'm saying. So,
sorry, not your favorite.
I'm being
as in, like,
objective
sorry.
now. I'm being objective right now, innit? So we'll say 17.
Mania 40 is at 5 for me.
For me, number 2 is 19.
Yeah, 100%.
I can agree with that.
21.
Number 3, I'm probably I'm gonna say 40. You know, I can't lie. I've got it really high.
You got
I
to
do
put
rate
40
it.
there.
Before 40.
I do rate. You know what it is? I do rate it quite highly, just from the guys on the list. But I just wish 39 was there. I think 39 is just really, really good. But you know, 40.
39 did not have a match as bad as JB Jimmy. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, but it didn't have a moment as good as the moments in 40.
I mean,
It literally had the tag
the main
match was
event in that one, I
unreal.
think that's as good. Yeah.
The main event in that one was nowhere near Cody winning.
It was still an amazing. It was still like a top 10 Mania moment ever.
And The Rock,
We'll do a Mania
John
moment
Cena,
video.
Undertaker.
We'll do a moments video after. Let's just get this ranking done. You two fighting like school children, fam. Me and Carp having to facilitate because you man don't want to show your faces on cameras, pussies. Anyway, where are we going at number 3?
Yeah, Mania 40.
All right, fair enough.
All right, we'll let the little
I
one.
don't
We'll let him get his way, Carpe.
Yeah, Mania 28's got to be number 4 though.
Yeah, and then 5's number 31. Or was it
21.
21?
21.
Mm.
Yeah. So,
Big H is not going to be happy if he ever sees this.
bro, Big H, his favorite Mania is fucking WrestleMania 3, bro. When Hogan slapped to Andre the Giant. Do you remember he used to gas up that moment in the chat?
Bash's favourite is 31. We all know why.
Oh yeah, Sting.
Alright,
Yeah,
guys,
what's the top 5 Manias? Just say it one last time.
I lost track, bro. I'll be honest. I ain't making notes.
17.
So it was 17, 19, 40, 28, and 21.
Yeah, we'll leave it up to that's if anyone even comments. But yeah,
Bro, we're 40 minutes into discussing this shit. No one's listening, fam. Not even our own boys. Not even our own boys. Big H has probably gone to sleep on his freaking rocker chair right now. Mongol. Anyway, let's go on to. I'm checking the list now for what we need to do because I'm really unorganized. We are looking at everyone's most hated manias, right? And I want to kick this off. Um, I've lost my notes. I've lost my notes. I'm like the Rock. I've got the promo on my wrist. Coffee's gone. Damn it.
Cough at that one and lift. Yeah, that rock slender and lift.
Oh man. Oh, I didn't even note it down what my most hated mania was.
Do you do you want to go first, or should I?
No, I'll go first. I'm gonna say, um, shit. There's so many bad manias.
There's
Like,
more bad manias than good
there's
manias. Have
more
you
bad
noticed?
manias than good, but it's like it's the one I hate the most. Kind of, it's that, and it's the 37, the one with Lesnar and Reigns main eventing.
34.
38.
Like,
38.
that-
Which one?
So, you know what, it was 38. It was the one where it was the winner take all, for the undisputed and the WWE championship. And do you know
when
what it
Cody
is?
returned.
Oh, worst mania ever.
My
38 was not that bad.
no,
It
what it
wasn't that
is?
bad.
I hate, what it is?
38 was good. I
No,
enjoyed
no, no.
38.
I didn't like
You had
it.
Austin as well.
Yeah.
Cody
No,
returned,
no. But it
Austin.
was all the filler in between. If anything, it'd be that or the one where Cena and Undertaker have a fight. Like that wasn't
Faithful.
great. But like I'm going through this right now. Um, the Usos match that opened up the night one when Rick Boogs got injured, and we ain't seen him since the latter day. McIntyre versus Happy Corbin. What the hell was that? And they had Miz and Logan Paul, bruv. Logan Paul had a good
That was
debut,
good
but
though.
I
That was
didn't
a
like
good
that.
debut though.
Literally, Logan Paul was all right, and that was it. Belair Lynch was decent. Rhodes versus Rollins was great. And then you had Charlotte Flair versus Ronda Rousey, man. No one wants to see her. No one wants to see Ronda Rousey, bruv. Get out of here. She's gonna come back and be like, I'm the baddest woman on the planet. No, you're not. Um, and then I'm looking at the rest of this. Edge versus AJ Styles, good match, but I just think it was the wrong winner. I think AJ Styles should have got over. I don't know why Sheamus and Rich Holland and the New Day had a tag match. I can't remember that. And then one of the worst matches. It was funny, but like in hindsight, it was so terrible. Pat McAfee versus Mr. McMahon. Oh my god, what was that,
Nah,
man?
that was hilarious.
That was
was
worth
hilarious.
it.
What am I watching, bro? What am I watching?
I feel like that was worth
And
it
then
for the
Vince,
moment.
Vince taking that awful story. That was the funniest shit ever, fam.
Oh my god! But you know what it is? It would have landed better if that main event had lasted as long as it did. That injury just
To be
killed the
honest,
entire thing.
I feel like you missed off some good moments from that show though.
I
No,
was
no, no.
gonna
I
say,
did that. I did purposefully because because it's agenda. I didn't like it this much. I thought
You have Knoxville versus Sami Zayn. That was
yeah, yeah.
very good.
And you had
And
the
then
Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Kevin Owens match. But I watched Stone Cold and I thought I just felt sorry for him most of the match. It was good to see him come back, but
Kevin carried him well that match. Kevin carried him well.
I felt like he didn't
yeah.
look that bad, you know.
It was a good
Nah,
match.
you know what it is. You know what it is. It's nostalgia, man. You look back at that and you think, it's just an old man getting carried around. I don't know. I just think it wasn't as good as people say it was. Like there were many good moments, good matches, but there was a lot of shit filler and some of the wrong results that came out at the end of
I
it.
don't know, man. I think Mania 38 was good. I didn't expect it to be any good. I was kind of surprised. I think Austin was amazing, man. He had Austin on both nights. It was just unreal. And with the Pat McAfee and Vince thing, I get it, but it's just a Mania moment. You know what I mean?
No, it was funny. It was funny. Don't get me wrong. It was funny. I get it. It was a good WrestleMania moment. I'm not trying to be a Debbie Downer or anything like that and say, oh yeah, this was really, really bad. It was just I just didn't like it personally. I think it was like I just didn't. I don't know. I didn't like it because what happened after was the main event, and the main event weren't good either because Reigns got injured somehow. and that kind of ruined it. Like they dubbed it as, like, I'm looking at it right now on Wikipedia, the most stupendous two-night WrestleMania in history, and the Mania before wasn't even that half bad. Like, come on, man,
I feel
really?
like there was. I feel like there was too much things on the show that I enjoyed for it to be my worst
No,
mania
no, but
ever.
I'm not saying it has
Yeah,
to be
same.
something that you need to dislike. It's not something that I'm saying that, oh, guys, it's really shit for you lot. I just didn't like it that much. That's just me.
Fair enough. I mean, I don't think it's gonna. I don't think it makes top 5 worst manias ever.
No, no,
So
no, 100%,
Nah.
100%, 100% it doesn't. Objectively, it doesn't. I just didn't like it personally.
all right, who wants to go next?
Danny, I think we're going in
Uh,
reverse order.
oh shit, I'll go.
Okay. For me, the worst mania ever is Mania 27. I feel like
Fuck's
this
sake.
mania. Did I take a pick?
No.
This mania
You need to
was
chill
so
on.
bad.
You need to chill on the Miz, man.
So bad. Let's talk about the main event. How can you have a mania that has Miz in the main event?
I don't know. I think you
Well,
can respect him. He's
Nah, that was terrible, bro.
there's no that
You've got to
match.
respect the
One
Miz.
of the worst matches I've ever watched in my life. I feel like the biggest issue with that mania was that it didn't feel like it was focused on around the wrestlers. It was just built around The Rock.
Yeah.
And then like The Rock opened the show with a long promo, which meant absolutely nothing. Like instead of getting the
Sucks.
fans up for the show, he just kept talking, and then he just kept on randomly appearing throughout the night for nothing. And then the show ended with him attacking Cena, which
That
I
was
mean,
the only good moment from the show. I can't lie.
see, I feel like it would have been a good moment, but like you don't have it to use. You don't use that much to build to the next match for the next Mania, especially in a
That's
Mania main event.
yeah. This WrestleMania 27 was literally like a filler Mania. It was just a setup for the Mania 28.
Or the main event where they both got, or was it a no contest, and then Rock came and
No, I
restarted
think the
them.
Rock. No, the Rock just interfered and like cost Cena the match.
But then they started another match
Yeah,
though
he did.
afterwards, didn't they?
Yeah, I think it
Oh
was a no
yeah,
contest. And then Rock came out, started the match, and they hit rock bottom on Cena,
yeah.
which I just that like just one of the worst Mania, probably for me though, the worst Mania main event ever. And then on that show, you just had too many pointless matches. Michael Cole for Jerry Lawler. That's one of the worst matches ever.
Nah,
You
that's
had
terrible.
Edge v Del Rio, which was a very underwhelming match. Sheamus v Bryan, which got caught off
Then
the
they
show.
had
They put that
then they
on
had
the
John Morrison teaming with like someone from Jersey Shore or something as well in the match. Just terrible.
They had,
yeah the Cole
oh,
versus
what was
Kane, Big Show,
Yeah.
and Santino. It was, oh my days. I mean, but one of the reasons I didn't like it was, I mean, in hindsight, you could talk about it, but they completely overshadowed Edge's retirement. I mean, he should have had like one of the most emotional Mania moments ever. His last Mania as champion. I mean, no one knew it was going to be his last Mania, but I mean, they handled it. They gave him an open match with Del Rio. Just treated it like a throwaway feud. So yeah, I feel like he had too many. I mean, he had one good match maybe.
it was
Undertaker.
Undertaker. Undertaker, always
Exactly.
Undertaker. Or Undertaker. I don't think I've seen Undertaker drop a bad match aside from John Cena, to be honest.
Uh,
I don't
He
even get
had a
that.
terrible main
Giant
event.
Gonzalez. Undertaker's had a lot of stinkers.
33,
Mania.
bro.
Undertaker's had a lot of stinkers. He fought Mark Henry at WrestleMania 2. That was bad.
33, bro. Roman Reigns. That was a terrible match.
Yeah, I mean, but,
That
sorry,
was bad.
I should have said before the streak.
Oh yeah. fair
Giant Gonzalez.
Yeah, the main event finish only exists to set up the next Mania, which should never ever happen for a Mania. You should make that Mania feel as special as it can. Too much focus on The Rock, too many pointless, forgettable matches, a horribly booked Lawler v Cole match, and a wasted Danny Bryan match which got cut short and they put that on the pre-show. It's just stupid. That's my worst Mania ever.
Fair enough. Amanat, your West Mania.
Okay, now I'm gonna show my age here. Yeah, I'm gonna go WrestleMania 9. WrestleMania 9.
What?
WrestleMania 9
Let know.
genuinely is the worst event I think I've ever seen in my life.
Wait, I'm sorry, wait, I want 2 minutes. There's no way you sat through WrestleMania 9.
Hear me out. I went through a phase. Yeah, lockdown was peak. Yeah, WrestleMania 9. Yeah, you started it off by having the Tanker beat Shawn Michaels by count out. Yeah. And you ended it off with Hulk Hogan winning the title from Yokozuna after Yokozuna just beat Bret Hart. Then you had Undertaker and Giant Gonzalez. Yeah. This was, you had, I think Drake the Clown had a match too. Yeah, bro, this was a howler. Yeah, Razor Ramon faced Bob Backlund in a 2-minute match. This was genuinely the worst Mania ever. It's up there with WrestleMania 2 and WrestleMania 2. Oh, bro, don't even talk about WrestleMania 2, fam. WrestleMania 2 was in 3 different places, but this was somehow still worse.
You can't say that about WrestleMania 2 though, because they literally tried to experiment. That's what Vince did back then. It's not
I think,
as
but you
bad.
know, with early WrestleManias, yeah, you can't. It was a different time then, innit?
Not 9 early, but too early. I understand.
But stuff like count outs and stuff was a normal way of matches happening back then. It was a normal thing.
Nah, but that was 9 years. That was 9 years in.
I'm not putting any Mania before I was born in my West Manias because like I'm not gonna sit through any of them to watch it. I mean, Amanat says he watched Mania 9 the full show. I mean, I found that hard to believe.
WrestleMania 9 was, listen, I've watched every single WrestleMania.
Who was it? You know what's the funny thing about 9? Hogan, that was pure politics. Hogan coming out to
I know it was.
But I swear he had a black eye as well. Someone punched him before he came
Someone
out.
punched him backstage.
Forgot who
And-
though.
Who was it from?
It was
I
something
can't
about that.
remember.
Pure politics.
No, genuinely though, that event is bad. Like, it's a bad event. Yeah. There's no one.
It used to be proper outdoor, innit, every year.
Yeah, that was at the where was it, man? It was in Vegas, innit? It was in
Yeah.
Vegas outdoors. Yeah. It was I think it was the first one that was outdoors, to be honest. But yeah, it was a howler.
Fair enough. Ability, your howler of a Mania.
Sorry. My camera's gone, but just a little side point, yeah, to Amanat's point about old WrestleManias, right? I don't know about you guys, like with my cousins, yeah, they used to show me wrestling as a kid. They used to have WrestleMania 6, yeah, on video, yeah. And they used to make me watch that. And the way they described the main event of that was like the best wrestling match of all time. It was Hogan versus the Ultimate Warrior. And I remember watching that, I was thinking, what the it's a terrible match.
That match is so shit.
It's a terrible match. But like, obviously for them, they grew up in that era. That was like the biggest match. That was their once in a lifetime match. So I feel like with all
that match? Do you know that match had a bear hug spot for 5 minutes?
You know, back then, yeah, it's kind of harsh to like put these as worst main because back then,
Yeah.
fans popped for anything back then. That was like a bear hug was like one of the best spots in the match for them. But yeah, but that's just a little side point I'll make about old WrestleManias. My worst WrestleMania of all time, yeah, is WrestleMania 32. That was a terrible Mania. Considering the hype that it had, yeah, I think it was the biggest WrestleMania ever at the time. Like they were selling the whole 100,000 fans thing, AT&T Stadium. It's like that WrestleMania was cursed as well. There were so many injuries. I mean, Seth Rollins got injured. That ruined the Shield triple threat. Randy got injured. Cena got injured. I think even Sting, bro. I think Mania 32, we would have finally seen Undertaker versus Sting. But then Sting, we all know what Seth done to Sting. But yeah.
Unsafe worker, man.
And then you had the terrible faction League of Nations. Del Rio, Sheamus, Rusev. They had a match with the New Day that was terrible. They tried their best in it to like bring in as many legends. I remember the Rock segment was hilarious. The man had a flamethrower and he was like lighting up the Brahma Bull logo. It was like such a long segment. Like, what is he doing? Then he had like
that was when Cena came out with Rock in it.
Yeah, and then he had a quick match with Eric Rowan, just burying Bray Wyatt some more. Why not? But and then you had the main event. Oh my god, that main event was stinky.
worst ever.
Triple H Roman Reigns, that's one of the worst main events I've ever seen. The crowd hated it. The crowd was booing. They had to pipe in, flipping fake crowd noise. Nobody gave a damn about that match. And the worst thing about WrestleMania 32 was I think it was one of the first ones that was like 7 or 8 hours long, bro. It was so long. Just terrible.
Bro, this Mania finished at like 6 o'clock and I had school at 8. Bro, I couldn't sleep that
You know
night.
what I mean? I think even Undertaker Shane McMahon, that was such a weird match. I love that they brought Shane back though. I love Shane McMahon, but it was such a weird match, a weird storyline as well. Vince McMahon had remember Vince McMahon said Shane has the key to the secret box, and he just like never went back to that storyline.
Have
But
you
yeah,
spoken about Brock Ambrose?
oh yeah, fucking terrible.
don't get me started on Dean Ambrose. Yeah, that
Brock
guy
did not want
is
to work with that guy
stinky.
from the start.
I don't want to talk about Dean Ambrose because that should be another topic another day. Fam. Dean Ambrose
You need
is
a mayor. You need a mayor for that, bruv.
Dean Ambrose genuinely is so stinky.
Nah, WWE Dean Ambrose was
AQ
decent.
dub.
No, bro, he wasn't even good then. Like in WWE either. I remember Dean Ambrose, Dolph Ziggler, SummerSlam 2016, one of the worst title matches ever. That was
That's too
so
far.
bad.
Not ever.
That was
Not ever.
worse than Jinder Mahal versus like flipping Shinsuke.
Oh my god.
That
Nah.
was a bad match, bro. But
Oh
do you
yeah,
know
and
what WrestleMania
WrestleMania
32, yeah?
32. 32 Charlotte won the match. Everyone wanted Sasha Banks to win, and they put it on Charlotte.
Do you know what
Also,
it is with that
And they
Mania?
made Becky Lynch tap out as well, didn't they? That was
Yeah,
long.
it was a triple threat match.
Also, Jericho being Styles.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That's it. I can't lie. Mania 32 is terrible. I think that should be number one.
Nah, I don't know about number
Nah,
one.
considering the hype, do you remember they were billing it as the biggest WrestleMania ever?
They built every WrestleMania as the biggest WrestleMania ever.
They gotta build it as the biggest WrestleMania ever, to be fair. But I
They
don't know, man.
reported over 100K attendance
Oh
for
yeah, and
it.
it was bullshit. It was like 80,000 or something.
My boy won. My boy won, though, innit? We got our moment. Woo, 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 yeah. Zack Ryder won the IC title.
Then he lost
We
it
won
the
the
next
IC
night.
title.
What was the point?
We got the big pop. That was the point. We got the pop. Yeah.
There's,
I don't know. Do you know what that mean? Yeah, it's a weird one. Yeah, I feel like I get where you're coming from because it is very stinky. Yeah, some parts of it.
There's
But
not one good
like,
match. Well, take a Shane.
no, I'd say
I
that ladder
feel
match was very good. The IC title
like
ladder match was very good. Yeah,
I said the women's triple threat and even Styles Jericho was decent.
I'd say
That
the IC
was
ladder match was very good. Undertaker Shane was good. The women's
No,
match was good as well.
Undertaker Shane was not good. It's just
mm,
considered one spot. That's it.
fair enough, boys.
Nah,
Very
but it's
sweet.
Shane McMahon coming back in it. Do you know what I mean?
Fair enough. Guys, I think we've had a hate session, the worst manias that we feel personally are the worst manias. Um so let's as a collective do the same thing as we did for the best WrestleManias and rank the top 5 worst manias of all time. Um I'm gonna straight away say that I think the ones that you've mentioned, I feel are justified to be in a top 5 worst WrestleManias. Mine isn't. I can understand that. That's just how I feel about um 37.
That's
But I want to put in 26 too. I think 26 was
nah. You can't do that.
why
26
not?
was 26 was had Undertaker Shawn Michaels, man. His last ever match.
Bruv, that Bret Hart versus Vince McMahon match. Ugh.
Nah, I can't lie. I kind of get him. You know, kind of get where he's coming from.
I feel like
I think
26
that's
was.
harsh.
I
That's
feel like
harsh.
26 was in the lower tier, but it's not a top. It's not a top 5 worst mania ever.
Yeah, but the thing is, you got. But the
Nah,
thing is,
I
with
would
the
agree.
I can see where you're coming from, but like you
Oh,
can't exactly
actually,
put
I
in
remember
WrestleMania
Jack
9 and
Swagger.
WrestleMania 2 in there either.
Jack Swagger won Money in the Bank at that Mania, innit?
Bro,
Yeah.
what? You telling me you like that? Oh my god.
Nah, you know why I like 26? Because it had that Kevin Rudolph song, I Made It. What? That's,
Yeah. Mm.
you know what?
Legacy triple threat was made as well, bro.
You know, low key, I hear it, but I just remember it because of Shawn Michaels' last match. That was a great match and a great moment.
Yeah, I suppose, but like,
Maybe at number 5, I'd say maybe.
I would put it at 5 if you're gonna put it in there. I'd put it at 5. I'm
What?
surprised no one said. Surprised no one said 34.
I feel like 34 had too many things on there which I liked. Personally, the opening was good with Seth Balamis. I feel like the Kurt Angle, Ronda Rousey, Triple H definitely
so
was a
that
good
was actually
match.
a good match. I like that.
Yeah, I feel like that
Yeah.
Mania, it
You
wasn't
had
a
35
good
AJ,
match.
you had AJ Nakia, which was
Oh,
like
that's
mid.
terrible.
You
I mean,
had
that
Braun
AJ
Strowman,
Nakamura
Lesnar.
match was a decent match, not as good as the Wrestle Kingdom, but more people hated it because of the ending. You didn't belt up Nakamura and turn him 10 heel. It
To be honest,
wasn't a
the match that
bad
they had
match.
afterwards, they had a match at what was it? Money in the Bank, I think
Only
afterwards.
the
Yeah,
league, yeah,
I
that
don't.
match.
That was a very good match. That was way better.
Do you know what it is?
I,
I think
Um,
Danny, with that whole AJ Nakamura thing, I think Nakamura faced John Cena a couple of months before, and it's kind of
And
like,
dropped on
when
set,
you
yeah.
try and justify whether or not someone can go over. I think in that match he dropped John Cena on his head or on his
Yeah,
neck or something. I can't
yeah.
remember. And I think from that moment on, Vince McMahon was like, I can't trust this guy to be, a leader in the
mm,
company. And I think that
Mhm.
is literally what made that decision the decision made itself at that point.
Listen, a kid won the tag titles on that show. That can't be the worst Mania ever.
yeah,
I'm not
Brock
saying it's the
Roman
worst
was
mania.
yeah.
horrible as
I was just
well.
saying, look at that AJ Nakamura thing. Like,
Yeah,
that was
yeah, yeah.
true. There's
Brock,
nothing about
Brock
that.
Roman was terrible as well.
Brock Roman was terrible. You had Cena, Roman Cena, Undertaker happened. I've
You
never
know
been more
what?
mad, bro. I was
This is a
fuming.
controversial take here. I didn't mind the whole Cena take. I thought it was fun.
I didn't,
No,
but
I
the
don't.
match
I
was
didn't like
okay.
it.
The match was
No, the
okay.
reason why I didn't like it was because how was my goat being squashed like that? Like he's John Cena, bro. How was he getting squashed, bro? Like what we doing?
But he's also missing.
They should have done that match at 30, man. They missed a trick there.
Bro, Jinder Mahal, did Jinder Mahal beat?
Yeah, he won the United
Oh,
States Championship
yeah,
on that
nah.
show. He beat Orton, Rusev, and Bobby Roode.
You know what I think the worst thing about 34 is they made so many wrong decisions. Like they had Charlotte going over
Yeah.
Asuka, they had Styles going over Nakamura and Roman losing to Brock as well. It was just terrible.
Oi, I can't lie. We've missed possibly the worst one. So get 34. The year after was even worse. Man.
No, it
35
wasn't.
is
No
a
chance.
house.
You know what?
No
I
chance.
haven't
No
even
chance.
watched 35. I haven't watched
I
35.
watched it. I
30,
watched 35, and there's no way 35's a top 5 West Mania. It had too many
35
things
is
on
a
that I
howler.
liked on that show.
You only had Kofi Mania. That's about it.
Seth
It had the
Rollins
opener
versus
was good.
Lesnar was a
Seth
brilliant
Rock was
opener.
good.
How long was that? Okay, yeah, it was a good little like pop thingy. It was like 2 minutes long. Yeah, it's a good little start for the show. Yeah. Then you had the Becky Ronda Charlotte triple threat, which was bad.
Do
Yeah.
you know what it is? No,
You
it was
had
only bad because of the result that happened. The build up to that match
no,
was
and also
unbelievable.
no, the build up was good. The actual match was bad, and also it was very late. It was like 7 o'clock, bro, half six, seven
Yeah, true.
o'clock when that
The
match
only
happened.
reason that you know what it is when Kofi, everyone wanted to see Kofi Mania, and like Kofi Mania is probably one of the greatest WrestleMania moments, if not the greatest WrestleMania moment of all time for a lot of people for a lot of different reasons, just because the way it was built up, etc.
Exactly.
Once that moment had happened, it's as if the crowd had died. That should have main evented WrestleMania. Like that's something
Also,
people should have kept open. That should
Batista
have been
Triple
about it.
H,
Yeah.
Batista Triple H took the life out of people,
What I want.
Bro,
What
they
I
had a
want. Give me
25-minute Triple H Batista match in 2019. Crazy.
and then
Oh,
Baron
the
Corbin
stuff
retired
was.
Kurt Angle. Baron Corbin retired Kurt Angle. Like, what we doing here, bro?
I can't lie, I didn't even watch 35. For everyone knows why I didn't watch 35.
A Mania for
Why,
me
why,
that
why,
has
wait, why did you watch 35?
No, don't want to get cancelled, man.
Guys, if you drop 1,000 likes, Carpe will tell us.
I think everyone can guess, but um, so I said 32, 27. Can't lie, I'm not gonna lie. I think 27 might be the worst
is
ever.
really the worst Mania ever.
I can attest to that, to be honest.
What
I'm
can I
going
say?
WrestleMania 9.
What about? I can't lie. Yeah, maybe this is being harsh because it didn't really. The cards were against them. Mania 36 was horrid.
See,
No, there were
when
Sorry.
too
Mania,
many good things from that Mania that I liked.
No, that was good.
with Mania 36, the one with no crowd, I'm gonna ignore that because it's not really fair. He had no crowd.
Yeah,
And
Yeah.
it's
the
harsh.
card was actually decent, but I'm not gonna hold that against him.
Considering they had no crowd, that event was actually
Oh, you
good.
guys,
Like
we
Kevin Owens
forgot
versus
one,
Seth.
man. We forgot. What about Mania 29?
Nah, I feel like that had that Punk take a match. There's no way that's gonna be.
And you had Cena finally winning, bro. I
Twice,
know, like
twice in a lifetime.
twice in a lifetime we had to have that.
You know what's hilarious about that? You know the original plan for 30 was thrice in a lifetime, but The Rock picked up an injury during 29. They were gonna do it 3 years in a row. Vince is hilarious.
Wait. Looking back at what Cope said, 29 might be a shout because they had Alberto Del Rio v Jack Swagger as a World
Oh,
Heavyweight title match. They had Fandango beat Chris Jericho. They had Mark Henry defeat Ryback. You know what? I think that's a top 5 WrestleMania ever.
bro, not even that. They
Nah.
had Brock. I can't lie. Brock Lesnar and Triple H. This is
That
my
was the time.
biggest. I hate that. You know why I hate that feud? If they simply booked Brock to lose to Cena in his first match back, and then they had him lose his first Mania back to Triple H, and then they had to do well. They didn't have to, but they decided, oh, we need Brock to look strong again, so they ended the streak by giving it to Brock. But if you just had Brock beat Cena and beat Triple H at 29, you wouldn't even needed to do the streak thing. But
Do you know what's the funniest thing ever? Triple H has had so many matches where if he loses, he has to retire.
and he always fucking wins, the prick.
So what
Triple
we
K.
ranking? What Triple K back then, always, now, forever. Right, what are we doing? Number one, number 27 is the worst. Yeah, is that what we're all agreeing on?
Yeah, I agree with that.
Number
32.
two,
I'm putting 32.
Same, second.
number three.
Listen, I'm saying 29.
Say WrestleMania 9.
I'm saying 29.
Oh,
That's not fair.
is 34 making the list?
I think it does, you know.
It's WrestleMania 9 not making the list. I'm being serious. That was awful.
Listen,
It
well, you know what?
genuinely,
We'll put Mania 9 at 5.
but I'll take it.
So that's between
27,
Mania.
29, 34, blank, 9 is what we've got so far.
That's
30.
To be
Mania.
honest, the only person that can give us the number 4 is Amanat because he's obviously watched all the WrestleManias.
Yeah, you know what?
Wait,
Which ones have we put in
hold
so
up,
far?
hold up, hold up, hold
Oh,
up.
we shouldn't
What
give it
about
to this guy.
Mania 25, bro? Mania 25. That's a top 5 band
Oh,
Mania.
Shout out
That
to
no,
was
Anthony.
his
That's one of
worst.
our
That was his
favorite.
favorite Mania, fam.
That was,
My
that
favorite. No,
was
no,
a terrible
that's my
Mania.
favorite Mania. Sentimentally, if you want it to be the worst, I don't mind. Like that's sentimental. That's sentimentally.
You said 26, right? Was the worst. I don't think I'm not putting 26 in the top 5 worst Manias ever. That's harsh.
26 was better than 25. Mm,
I think 25 should go in. I can't lie.
That main event for 25 was bad, bro.
No
Oh, I
shouts for
can't. There's a few other
24.
old school ones as well that we haven't mentioned, like
What about
WrestleMania.
20? I'm not. I'm thinking off the top of my head, but what do you not think of 24?
Nah, 24 was good. 24
I
was
enjoyed
good.
it. Yeah, I enjoyed that.
I'm just
I
Yeah,
thinking
actually
that.
watched I actually watched 24 a few weeks ago, and top to bottom, I enjoyed it.
that was a solid show.
Mm.
Undertaker
We need
Edge
to
was
think of
Wrestle-
one quickly. I'm trying to record another podcast. Oh, we gave the game away. We got nothing better to do, guys, except record shit content. What are we going as number 4 then?
WrestleMania 11.
Oh, bro, we're not counting. We already gave 9, bro. We're not letting you get another one in.
Bro, it just makes me think these people who are old, yeah, watch some terrible wrestling, fam. They
But to
watch
them
some
at the
horror.
time, to them it was the best thing ever. Do you know what I
No,
mean?
but no, but they come back and they say it's good when it's not, fam. Bro, we had an
Mania
NFL player.
13. But I
We had
can't.
an
Mania
NFL player
13.
in the main event of WrestleMania.
No, but I can't lie. Back then, that's what they did, innit? Like, look at WrestleMania 1. They had Mr. T in the main event. It was to build the brand, innit? Like, get it mainstream.
That was 11 years in, though, bro.
Yeah, but that's
11 years.
WrestleMania. That's the very first one that established them on the map. Can we just
They
choose
had,
number 4, please?
they
25,
had.
bro.
Put 25 there.
I'm not going 20. I'm not going 25. I'm not going 25.
I'm going
Actually, you know
25.
what?
I want to end this.
25 has arguably the greatest wrestling match ever. So I think just for that reason, don't put 25
It's got to
in.
be. That's what I'm saying, bro.
So I don't know, 20. Fuck it, put 26 in. Jack, just because of Jack Swagger. And I remember Edge Chris Jericho was very disappointing as
Wait,
well.
what about WrestleMania 15?
No,
15.
15 had what? Austin, the first one ever.
15 had one good match on the whole show. Go through the rest of the card. No good matches at all. That's essentially a one match mini card. And it's not even as good as like Undertaker we shown to the extent where you can just ignore it.
Well, to be honest, if you're gonna go that, then you'd say, nah, can't say that. I would say
Go
14
to
then.
WrestleMania 15, I'm telling you, that's a top 5 WrestleMania.
16 was bad.
Mania 15 then. But they all shit. They all
You know what
shit.
else is
Every
shit?
event
You
in
lot
them.
not
Was
picking, man.
horrible. Fucking hell.
Come on, man. I got places to be, i.e., record another podcast.
Nah, to be fair, 15's a good show, bro. Undertaker, big
Exactly.
boss, man.
That's a
Hell in a
horrible
cell.
mania.
9 minutes.
Oh,
Nine-
that's a bad mania. Yeah, that makes the list.
Come 15 and number 4. All right, so number 1, 27, number 2, 20. Correct me if I'm wrong. Number 1, 27, number 2, 29,
32.
32, number 3, 29, number
Yeah.
4,
15,
15, number 5.
9.
9. 9 kills me, man.
That's Mission
WrestleMania 9.
Podcast. That's Mission Podcast. I'm ending it on WrestleMania 9, man. You lot confirms it.